And as we just start to move and find that space, maybe our arms are freed from our sides. We're just clearing it around. And on our altar, I have a beautiful frankincense and positive vibe, incense that's flowing. Then maybe we take those arms up overhead. Yes. We're just clearing out that space. Are you allowing yourself to take up the space? Then maybe we deepen with those elbows a little. Arms are lifted, hips are moving, elbows are flowing. And then we deepen that elbow. Now we're opening up doors. Exhale. And as you open up that door, I just want you to walk through that room and open that door that you just opened for yourself. And then move into another avenue of space. Nice wide arms. And we're going to flow for another breath count of 4, 3, 2. As we gently find those arms coming down to our sides. As we bring those shoulders up and back. Slowly finding some stillness as we have now created this beautiful bubble full of our vibrant and moving energy that we now get to operate in. And we're going to stand in our neutral position at the center of all of this electrifying and magnanimous energy, because we have now opened the container and created a beautiful portal that allows us to be present and take up as much space as necessary. As we usher those arms up towards the sky, exhale, flow forward, palms come down. Slight bend in the knee as we gently roll it up. Shoulders come back as the head rises, arms lift. Exhale, move forward. Slight bend in the knee, gently roll it up. Shoulders come back as the head rises. Arms lift up towards the sky as we exhale, down and around. Shoulders come back. Palms come to the waist, and we lift onto those toes and lower. Lift and lower. Reach, release. Reach, release. 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, as the heels come down, we lift, hold, reach with those arms. And on your next exhale, pivot forward, bringing those arms down towards the front. Hips come back and expand. As we rise, arms come tall. Exhale, down and around. Shoulders come back. Walk it out. You are free to take up as much space as necessary and stand strong in confidence, knowing that it is your right to be present. Maybe we shift those hips side to side. Exhale. And we're going to find some stillness here. We're going to come into a wide V. Those hips are forward, shoulders are back, palms are going to come nice and light to the waist. We're going to have a seat, take those arms out towards the side, reach forward, touch the floor, and lift. So let flow look like open, forward, and rise. Open, forward, and rise. So we're going to hold it open. And we're going to slowly find some stillness with those hips. Arms that come in, open, open. Then rotating to the heels. lift, lift, left and right. Hold the left, lift, tap, tap, knees, tap, knees, arms forward, open, left heel down, right. We'll go back to our lift and taps. Triangle point, tap the knees, triangle point, tap the knees. Arms come forward, open, lift, lowers, lift, lowers, hold. We'll close in and out, but we're gonna be on our heels by then, and then we'll step it in. All right, I saw you flowing through that, okay. Testing it out, seeing how those hips feel. Hips look good, girls. Hips look good, ladies. To remind you, when those hips are coming forward, so we have a tendency to work hips back. If we have a little bit more lusciousness on the front, right? We tend to have those hips back to create a sense of pressure release. But what that really is doing is putting a bow in the back. It's misaligning the spine and it puts pressure onto the low back. When we rotate those hips forward, we allow that energy to come back into alignment from crown to root, root to crown. Core is engaged, so we're actually strengthening the core. That helps to tighten, tone, and ultimately release maybe some of this lusciousness that we don't want to have here on the front, but it really is strengthening the core and helping to realign the spine and the low back. So it takes that pressure off. So when we rotate those hips forward, you can always tell where there may be the hips are back, because when you go to have a seat here, especially when you lift those heels, if your hips are not forward, your chest is tending to come forward. That's how you can always find that adjustment period. That makes sense? I know that was a long explanation. I'm a talker. Chalk it to the game. It's okay. So, those toes, we're going to start with our neutral. Give those toes a nice wiggle. We're going to make sure those hips are forward. Shoulders are back. Palms are going to come nice and light to the waist. We're going to work it into that first position, and then we're going to take a wide V. So that's going to be your platform that you start with. And you can always adjust, step back into your plie, and then make adjustments where necessary. We'll start with those palms in the waist. We'll take those arms out, and a breath counts of 4, 3, 2, here's our flow. Reach forward, raise those arms, open. Reach forward, raise those arms, open. 2 more, forward. Raise those arms, open, forward. Raise those arms, open. Hold it here. Here's 4, 3, 2, arms come forward, bring it in, and open. In, open, in. Sorry, open. I reversed it. In, open. Bring it in, open. 1 more, in, open. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Left heel lift. Left heel. 4, 3, 2. Reach. Open. Tap. Lift. Tap. 3 more. Lift. Tap. 2. Tap. Last one. Here's your tap. Arms come forward. Open out. Left heel down. Right heel lift. 3, 2, 1. Here's our lift. Lift. Tap. Lift. Tap. 3 more. Lift. Tap. Lift. Tap. Last one. Here's that tap. Arms come forward. open out, left heel comes back, hips forward, shoulders back, arms are long. 3, 2, 1, here's our flow. Take it up, tap, lift, tap, 3, tap, 2, tap, last one, here's your tap. Arms come forward, open and close. Open, close. Open, close. 3 more. Open, close. 2, close. Last one, close. Palms rotate towards the floor. Lift them overhead. Rotate down and around. Shoulders come back. Lift those hips. Heels come down. Step it into the neutral. Toes are forward. Walk it out. Great work. Great work. Grab some water. Block your eyes. Shake it out. My dog is trying to take his hand under the door like this. So you see this little pause in here. He's like, what are you guys in there doing? Can I come in? No. Because then he'd have his whole face in here like this. And you guys all see is his nose. So I have to close him out. Because if not, he's all over the place, I tell you. How are we doing? How's our knees feel? Those ankles, how are you feeling in those ankles? Those heel lifts were really, really good. And I saw the adjustment. Beautiful adjustment. Way's like, I'm not sure though. My arms, she's like, She's like, oh no, man. Them arms holding on like that. She's like, okay. Sarah, good work. I see you up there, Melvin. The toe lifts look good. They look real good. So we're gonna go round 2. Pick up our tempo just a little bit. Now, with that here, when we come in, heel lifts, finish. We're gonna drop those hips, sink low, tall, low, tall. Now, that's my depth. That may not be your depth. This is low. This is tall. This is low. This is low. So you have a range of motion. What do your knees, hips, ankles say is possible for you at this moment? That is your range. So my range and your range may not be the same. And that's perfectly correct. Make sense? Good deal. All right, my dears. Let's find that neutral. Got that little bead of sweat that's starting to pull on our foreheads here. Toes are forward. Hips forward. Shoulders back as the palms come to the waist. We find that first position and then we make it wide. We create that platform. As we have a seat, those arms come out. 3, 2, 1. Here's our flow. Take it forward, lift, open. Forward, lift, open. Pick it up. Forward, lift, open. Keep going. Forward, lift, open. 2 more. Forward, lift, open. Last one. Forward, lift, open. Here's your hold. 3, 2, 1. Arms come in. In and open. In, open. 4, open. 3, open. 2, open. Last one. Here's your hold. Nice. Left heel, lift. 3, 2, 1. Here's your flow. Lift and tap. Lift, tap. 4, tap. 3, tap. 2, tap. Last one, hold. Arms out, left heel down, right heel lifts. Good transition. Lift those hips. Here we go. Lift, tap. lift, tap. 4, tap. 3, knees. 2, knees. Last one, hold, arms come out, both heels, lift. 3, 2, 1, here's our flow. Lift, tap, lift, tap. 4, tap. 3, tap. 2, tap. Last one, tap, arms out, in, palms rotate down, drop those hips, and lift. Drop those hips, lift. 2 more, low, lift. Last one, as we rise, lift those arms, rotate, shoulders, palms come to the waist, drop those hips, hold for 8. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, lift, heels down, step it in, walk it out. Yes, great job. Great job. As we release everything that is just a hindrance, that's an annoyance, that is causing tension, let it flow freely through you. That sweat is pulling it out of your pores. It is actually cleansing your body in current moment. Allow it to be processed through you and released so you rise renewed after your flow. Maybe you take those shoulders up and back as you grab your water. Maybe you deepen with those elbows. Maybe you flow back through those arms. Exhale, my dears, exhale. We find some stillness with those arms. We bring those arms up towards the sky as we interlock those fingers and reach. And on the next exhale, maybe we just rotate out towards the right. Back towards the center. And on your next exhale, rotate out towards the left. Back towards the center as we unlock those fingers and allow them to come down, shoulders up and back. Exhale, my dears. So we're gonna work ourselves over towards the bar at this time. We are gonna start on the bar facing forward. Palms are gonna be nice and light. Whenever we come over to the bar, we always acclimate ourselves with how we are in that moment. No 2 bar flows are the same. So we always want to just make sure that we give ourselves good balance test. See how that bar is responding to us today. Palms are nice and light, toes are forward. We just want to lift onto the toes and lower. Maybe we lift the toes off of the floor, rock the hips back and lower. As we lift, lower, lift, lower. Heels up, lower. Toes up and lower. One more as we rise with those heels. And then maybe we shift those hips back. Deepen that stretch in the calf. How are those ankles feeling? Listen to those ankles right now. How are your ankles responding? If you allow that upper body to lift, those heels come down, and we rock back, lift those toes. And at the same time, you can bring that upper body towards the floor. Now it's gonna just deepen that stretch through your calf. And that's it. If that is too intense, lower the toes. If the toes are lifted, extend those hips, deep stretch through the calf, up to the back of the thigh. You may even feel it in the low back. So we allow those toes to come back firmly to the ground. We lift the upper body and shake out. Now, as we start with the bar today, we're going to start right palm. I'm starting with my right palm on the bar. We're going to start in that first position. So toes are going to come forward, hips are forward. We make that external rotation. And so in your first position, that is where you take your tightest heel placement. If when you go to have a seat, so when you have a seat, those hips are going up and down, not back and forth. When you have a seat, if there's any type of tension or discomfort in the knees, hips, or ankles, and not because you're just taking the moment to do something a little different, but if it's a true hesitation, you may have too small of a platform and you would want to widen the heels. As you create more fluidity and dexterity in the knees, ankles, and hips, you can come into a tighter platform. So we're going to start with our neutral, then work it into our first position. We're going to start with singles in our plie, low, lift, low, lift. We're going to work up through the knee, low, knee, low. Knee turns into an extension, in, down. Knee, extension, in, down. That becomes a leg lift. Knee lift, extend, leg lift, lift and lower. From here, we'll work it back, extend, and to a heel lift. So when we come from the leg lift, open, cross, tap out. So it'll be a cross, tap out, heels together. That makes sense? Yeah, I saw everybody flowing through it, so it looked really good. Look good. All right, my dears. So we're gonna go through a 6 count on each. We're gonna start with those singles. Remember, this is your flow. Go at the pace that makes sense for you. And don't hold your breath. Let it loose. Let that fire flow. 3, 2, 1. Here's our routine as we bring it in to that neutral. Hips are forward, shoulders are back. That palm is nice and light at the waist as we make that external rotation. On a breath count of 4, 3, 2. Here's our sits. Take it low and lift. Low. For 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it here. Knee, low. Knee. Bring it up. For 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Lift. Extend. In. Down. You got it. Lift. Extend. In. Down. Lift. Point that toe. In. Down. 4. Out. In. Down. 5. Out. In. Down. 6. Out. In. Hold. Lift. Out. Tap. Lift and lower. Here's lift and lower. Lift. 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Reverse. Tap it out. Plie. Lift for 6. Lift. Lift. 3, 4. That feels good. 5, 6. Low. Hold. Can we take the palm off the bar? Will that balance? Relax it down. Toes forward. Walk it out. Yes. Yes. Standing strong in your power. I see that. Standing strong in your power. Yes. Grab some water. Blot your brows. Shake that glute. If you ever wonder, what part are we actually working at this time? Tell me, what part starts to feel the burn? So in that whole flow that we're going in, and when we say the burn, it's really that muscle activation. So you probably noticed it in the glute. So it's a glute work. You may have noticed it in the hip. So your hip is opening here. We also might have noticed it in the knee as we bring into that hinge or that leg, that whole entire leg with that lift and lower. So it's a full low body movement. We also bring in a little bit of that lower abdomen aspect. So whenever you're like, should I feel this here? That's where you know you're actually engaging those muscles in that part of the body. That flow looks really beautiful, my loves, real beautiful. We're gonna pick up the tempo just a tad bit as we transition over to the right side. So that left palm is gonna come onto the bar. We're gonna start in that neutral position, toes forward. Then we wiggle those toes, make sure they're still wiggling. As we find that neutral position and those hips are forward, shoulders are back, palm comes nice and light. We find that external rotation. Exhale, don't hold your breath. And a breath count of 4, 3, 2, here's our flow. Take it low and lift up. For 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, knee lift here. Bring it up. Lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, extension. Knee out, in, down. Knee out, in, down. Here's 3, point, in, down. 4, point, in, down. 5, point, in, down. Lift, point, in, hold. Extension, out, tap, lift, and lower. Here's lift and lower. Lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. That's your cross. Pop it out. Extend, bring it back in. Heel lifts. Lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, lower. Lift. Maybe we try that pivot again. As we lift those arms nice and tall. Here's 4, 3, 2, as we rise and release. Yes. That pivot was beautiful. As we came down, it was like this beautiful little halo, and you dropped back down, and you stood, and then you walked in that strength. Yes. Yes. That glisten you feel is success. That's the glisten of success. Relish in it. Grab some water, blot your brows. Shake those hips, right? Yes. And as we tune into the breath, feel the deepness of where you're breathing. Is it in the core? Is it in your chest? Where are you breathing from at this time? Where do you find yourself breathing that maybe you weren't before? Inhaling and exhaling. As we inhale, we allow ourselves to be filled with nutrients and vitality. And when we exhale, we release stagnation and defeat. We release stagnation and defeat. Let's bring those palms nice and light over to the bar, my love. As we shift the weight over to that right foot, let's bring that left heel up over the right knee. Have a seat. Feel free to flex the foot, point the toe if that feels good for you. Beautiful. Finding some stillness with that foot as we lift, lower that heel. Bring that left heel up to the glute. Reach around, grab that toe. Maybe you bring the chest towards the bar. Maybe you extend that leg out behind. As we rotate that foot back towards the glute, we lift with the upper body. That left foot comes long and we shake it out. Finding some stillness here. Let's shift that weight over to the left foot. Right heel comes up over the left knee. Have a seat. Maybe we flex the foot and point the toe. As we rise, that right foot comes down. Then we bring it up behind. Maybe we shift the chest towards the bar. Maybe we extend that leg out. Let's bring that back in towards the body. As that chest rises, right foot comes down. Let's shake it out. Finding some stillness here. As we come over back into the center of the floor, we're going to come into a wide V here. As we take those arms up nice and tall, we're going to exhale, flow forward, and come into a wide forward fold. Maybe you slowly start to rock those hips side to side. Maybe you gently start to bend the knee and extend the opposite leg. Breathe, my loves, breathe. Maybe you hold one side, extend the leg, bend the knee. Bring those hips back towards the sky. Maybe you bend the opposite knee, extend the leg. Maybe you rotate those hips side to side. Maybe you drop the hips and lift the head, bend the knees. And rise. Maybe you drop the hips, bend the knees, lift the head. And rise. Maybe you return to taking those hips side to side. Continue to flow for the next breath count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently bringing those hips up towards the sky. We're going to shift those fingertips and toes towards the left. High triangle pose. As we gently walk those fingertips and toes back towards the front, let's gently shift those fingertips and toes over towards the right. High triangle pose. Exhale, my loves. As the fingertips and toes come back towards the front, maybe we shift those hips back again side to side. Maybe you bend the hips. Maybe you extend those legs. But we're going to flow for our breath count to 4, 3, 2. As we find some stillness and heel toe into our neutral or tight forward fold. Slight bend of the knee as we gently roll it up. Shoulders come back as the head rises. We take those arms up towards the sky. Interlock those fingers and reach. Creating a bubble in front as those palms come down. And bringing it up overhead. And as you flow through the arms coming forward and lift, I want you to envision yourself creating this beautiful bubble around yourself. And as you lift the arms overhead, that bubble is encapsulating you. And everything inside of this bubble, everything that has been worked loose as you've been flowing throughout your practice today. Create that bubble as big as you need. And as we restore and bring those palms down to the front, I want you to imagine that all of these things that are in this bubble are just filling up to a point where this bubble is so heavy that you can no longer hold it because you have been holding on so tightly to the things that are slowly working themselves free from your mental, your physical, and emotional space, and it's just gotten so much that you no longer can hold it any longer. Now I want you to take a nice inhale. And on your next exhale, I want you to burst that bubble as hard as you possibly can. And allow everything to just be released from you, to flow freely away, to be expelled, excommunicated, and released. That is no longer warranting your presence. And knowing that what you are releasing at this time is being returned into the earth to saturate the soil that you are going to implement and implant the newest aspects of yourselves into. And when it's time, those seeds will sprout that will give you vitality and nourishing fruit. Because as we come from the earth, at one point we will return. And anything that has been released at this point is no longer yours to search for, to seek, find, or pick up. Because everything has served its divine timing and purpose. And as you feel lighter and freed, I want you to take those arms up over your head, capturing your essence that is so freely and vibrantly soaring with you, and usher it down to your heart center. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter if you felt undone or if it was a hectic day, that everything that you experience is here to help you liberate and live your most authentically vibrant life. The more balanced and stable your foundation, the easier you can handle the wind and the rain when it comes in, because it is nourishing you and it is flowing freely and releasing everything that has worked its way free. The sun is the fire that nurtures and illuminates all of your beauty. So you're never out of place. You're never out of pocket when you have to use all of your elements to your betterment. And as you stand here in your confidence, know that this is your rightful place of being and your rightful state of being. When you're ready, release. Oh, they rude. They was way rude. They is way rude right now. Grab some water, blot your brows. I'm gonna bring some incense into the space again. I love these positive vibe ones. These are just amazing. I absolutely love them. Like they say positive vibes, but the smell is just electrifying. Like it's truly magnetic. I don't know what the combination of the herbal incense is. So if you ask me, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I have no real recollection or clue. But I do know that it has this frequency of amazingness that I enjoy so willingly and freely. Oh, here it is. Sorry, my bad. I need my water too. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Oh, great. There's one moment.